You are watching. Pause. We pause for a second or two. How do we keep life coherent when so much is changing? This is episode 226, Global Trade War. For quite a long time now, the last 3 years or so, we have been talking about, in our Western world, we have been talking about the prospect of widespread war. And we have started to fear war in a stronger way. And for those of us who are inexperienced with war, such as myself, once we start thinking about war, we start in thinking of these stark images. We think about movies we have seen. We think about imagery of devastation and violence. That's where we start our thinking. But it would seem that war is so much more than just those images that we carry within us. That war is so much more than the movies we have seen. And now, piece by piece, step by step, it seems that we are learning about all the different things that war is. Today's episode is called Global Trade War. And what has begun now, most would say, perhaps everyone would say, is that one facet, one kind of war has already begun. We are seeing the great economies of the world. We are seeing the United States of America. We are seeing the European Union, and we are seeing China predominantly those three currently. Placing and withdrawing different measures towards one another. And they are doing it in a very tit-for-tat kind of way. So one of them places a tariff on imported goods, and the other one responds. And then back and forth. And then the third one responds, and then back and forth. And we are talking tariffs, we are talking sanctions, we are talking different forms of investments. We're talking legislation. We are talking prohibitions, limitations, all kinds of stuff done in this tit-for-tat kind of way. And today we pause for a second or two and simply recognize where we stand, you and I, us common civilians with little insight into what is going on behind closed doors. The emotional situation that we're talking about today is our long-term situation, signified by this infinity symbol, this green infinity symbol, signifying growth and long-term future. Our long-term situation is for all those times when we think about our future or when we worry about our future, when we have anxiety about how is all this going to go. That is our long-term situation. And the emotional skill that we're talking about today is a skill that is specific for our long-term situation. And that is specific skill sketch. Specific skill sketch is when we put pen to paper and jot down or plan on paper where we are. And often, thinking about our future, our long-term situation, is simply about looking at where we are right now. Because the worry that we carry within us, the anxiety we carry within us, the despair, the pessimistic thinking, even our realistic thinking or our positive thinking. All of that stuff we have right here and now. Not in the future, but now. Emotionally, our long-term situation is not in the future. It is here, right now. So then, what does a global trade war, the global trade war that has now begun, or it seems like it's starting at least, how does that affect our long-term situation? How does that affect our ability to sketch, specific skill sketch, to sketch down where we are? So when we sketch down where we are, we look at all these different sort of actors. We have ourselves, we have our family, we have our community, we have our country, we have our people, we have our part of the world, we have our opinions, we have our ideals, our hopes, dreams, fears, all of this stuff. And now, when we seem to be entering a global trade war, all of these are simply more difficult to look at. They are more scary to look at. They are more scary to plan for. When the global financial climate not only feels, but in reality is more volatile, more violent, more aggressive, more tit-for-tat, more short-term, not long-term, but short-term, we naturally feel a very strong reluctance to look at the different parts of our lives in a sketch. We are afraid of what we will find once we sketch them down. Because once we have our full picture, or at least some kind of approximation of our full picture on paper, when we have it there, we are afraid of what we will see. Often, when we have our full picture in front of us, physically manifested on paper, we cannot delude ourselves. We cannot deny where we are as easily. So this global trade war that seems to be starting now, it makes us not want to do specific skill sketch. It makes us want to hide. It makes us want to not look at our full life, not plan for our full life, because we are afraid of what we will learn. So what do we do then? Do we sketch anyway? Or do we leave ourselves alone and put it off? What do you think? I'm just pausing here for a moment. And I am doing this deliberately because now when I paused like this, chances are high that you felt uncomfortable. Chances are high that you got in touch with your reluctance to facing your full picture on paper. And could be that it is too difficult, that it's not for you. Then that's how it is. Could also be that it made you more determined, or at least made you want to try. At least try to jot something down, to make a start at least. Maybe not sketch your full life on paper. Maybe that feels too ambitious or too reckless. But at least sketch something down, something that feels relevant to you, something that feels pressing for your long-term situation. Could be that you don't need to sketch that many things down. Could be that you just need to sketch down the one thing that is really pressing your heart. Could be that that's enough. Just write it down on paper. The one thing that concerns you truly. That's it for today. Thank you.